Hello guys. So in today's lecture we quickly run through a few root locus plots. I will just run you through 3 or 4 problems just to tell you how to use those steps. So this is my first problem. Okay, GS is all through. Again I am assuming that everything is unity feedback system. So don't really worry about what happened to H. Okay, and again I just get K here as well. So let's try to plot it. So since if you will see, I'm having M is equals to 1. 1 second. Yeah, over here I'm having M equals to 1 and N equals to 3. Okay, so if I plot it, I will again have one imaginary axis, one real axis. Okay, my roots, if you will see, number of poles are 3 and 3 poles out of 3, 2 are at origin. Okay, so 1 and 2 poles are at origin. 1 is at minus 9. 1 0 is at minus 1. Okay, so my number of poles is 3, number of 0 is 1. So number of branch of root locus will be number equals to my pole. Okay, and out of these 3 branches of root, one will move towards 0 and another 2 will terminate at infinity. Okay, so which part of real axis will exist for my root locus? If you will see, if I am standing over here, on the right hand side sum of poles and 0 is 2, so this part will not exist in root locus. Similarly over here, if I am standing, sum of poles and 0 is 4, so this is also not there. If I am here on the right hand side, its number is 3, so this hole in between minus 9 to minus 1 is a part of root locus. Okay, now we need to find out how these 2 guys will move. Out of these 3, 2 will move towards infinity. So first we need to find out what is centroid point. Okay, so to calculate centroid point, we will sum the real part of poles minus sum of real part of 0 divided by n minus m, that is 2. Okay, so I get my centroid at minus 4, somewhere in between. Okay, so I'm not drawing with scale, I'm just rough drawing it. Okay, next is what are the angle of those asymptotes. Okay, so angle of asymptote, we compute them as 2q plus 1 divided by into 180 divided by 2, because 2 branches will move towards infinity. So what will be the angle? Angle will be plus 90 and minus 90, or you can say 270 degree. So if I draw it, it will be something like, here I am having my 0, this is my centroid, this is my pole, here again I am having 2 poles. So on centroid point, angle of asymptote is plus 90 degree and minus 90 degree. Okay, so it will be vertical upward and vertical downward. Now other thing we need to look at is, do the root locus cross imaginary axis. So I just write down the characteristic equation, 1 plus GSHS is equals to 0, and if I calculate it, this is my characteristic equation. We will see when does this actually meet imaginary axis while I quickly draw the routes table. Okay, so this is S3 is 1k, S square is 9k, then I am just cross multiplying it and dividing by 9, so I am getting 8 by 9k. Okay, so what value of k goes to 0? If k is equals to 0, this guy will become 0. Okay, over here, so that if I put k equals to 0 here, it will be 0 here. So there is no real other part from the origin that meets root locus, actually meets j omega axis. So the roots, do the roots cross imaginary axis? The answer is no. It is just obvious from this table here. No root part will cross my imaginary axis or touch even imaginary axis. Next is now the breakaway point or break-in point. If you will look at the graph, I'm here having multiple roots. One pole is here, 1 0 is here. This is my centroid again. Okay, this is my asymptotic angle. Now breakaway point. So I will just calculate k and then differentiate with respect to s. Then I will calculate its roots. I'm having -3 and 0 as a root of my this equation. Differentiation of k with respect to s when I'm equating to 0. It's easy to compute. Okay, so you can see here there are already a breakaway point here because there is a multiple roots here. Okay, so this is breakaway point, and then these two guys are sitting here at -3. So this is how it's look like. They will start here and they will again meet here. So this is break-in point. Okay, so this is breakout point, this is break-in point. Okay, again they will move towards infinity at an angle of +90 and -90 in the angle of asymptote. Okay, so now which direction they go? Both of them go here, or they just go around, or no wonder here. While come back, I know they never go on right, and these two guys will never go on right hand side because they are not crossing my imaginary axis. Because of Raoult's criteria, even that is satisfied, that no root is on right hand plane. So they just have to be somewhere here only. Okay, then how do they go away on this point? So they go away at an angle of 180 by r. R is my number of roots. So here initial point will be tangent to my imaginary axis at +90 and -90. Okay, so they will be tangent to the imaginary axis. Okay, then these two guys will go here and they have to arrive here at somewhat at -3. Okay, now when they are arriving, this guy is also arriving here, they are also arriving. So 3 guys have to move away. So angle of departure will be 3 here, not 2, it's 3. Okay, so I know that these two guys will always move away from each other. These two guys will always move away from each other. They will arrive at -3 and here they will go. This guy moves to right here because this is a root locus. This guy always move here. It will arrive at this point because of these two, and this is coming here at -3 coming here. So they will go at 180 degree. Again, how they will move? So these 3 are coming here, they will move away. Okay, what will be the angle? Angle will be 2q plus 1 by 3, 180 degree, and it is 60, 180 and 300. Okay, even you can say -60. So root will arrive here and this way they will move away to the infinity at an angle of asymptote 90 degree. So I just try to join these dots here. So I will have a root locus which will be look like something here. So all points are clear. So this is my root locus for this system. So this is how it's go. I start here. For 1 I'm starting here, Okay, then they will arrive, they are departing at an angle tangent to the imaginary axis. They are arriving at 60, 180 and minus 60. Then they are departing at an angle of minus 90 and at minus 4. Okay, this is minus 3 point, this is minus 1. Okay, so this is how it will look. This is my asymptotic angle. Okay, so this is how the root locus for the given system looks like. Okay, so the second example is here. So in this example I have 1 plus 2 plus 2, 5 poles. Okay, 5 poles and zeros is 2 over here and 1 is here, so number of 0 is 3. So open loop poles are at minus 0.1 plus minus j 6.6 and another is at minus 12 from here and another two are at 0. 0 is at minus 1 and at minus 0.1 plus minus 6. Okay, so then total number of pole is 5 and number of 0 is 3. So we will just redraw it. It will be like, I will have two poles at origin. One is at minus 12, another one is at, that is conjugated, so it is at minus 0.1 plus j 6.6 and over here it is 0.1 minus j 6.6 and my zeros are at minus 1, 1 is at again minus 0.1 plus j6 and here it is at minus 0.1 plus minus j6. So it is not at 0, it's 0.1. It's approximately around this imaginary axis. Okay, now these, since we are having number of poles as 5, so number of branches of root locus will be 5. Okay, and since the 5 branches of root locus originated from these poles at k equals to 0 will terminate at 3 of them will terminate on these zeros from these poles and 2 will terminate at infinity. Okay, now the question is we would like to ask is which part of real line on the root locus will lie. Okay, so if you will see here, if you are standing here, these 4 are of no, we will not take in consideration because they will get cancel out each other. So if I am standing here, there is 2 number, sum of poles and 0 is 2, or even we can say even. Okay, so this is not the part of root locus. And if I am here, it is number is 3. These two are conjugates, so we are not considering again them, so it's 3. So this whole part between minus 2 and minus 1 lies on root locus, since the sum of poles and 0 is odd on the right. Again, if you are here, it's 4, so again that part is not on my root locus, so it is only in between minus 12 and 1. Okay, now I just want to consider or find out what will be the angle of these branches, 2 branches which are moving towards infinity. What will be the angle of asymptotes? So the angle of asymptote for those 2 roots will be, it will be n minus m, that is 2, so it will be 90 and minus 90, the angle of asymptote. Okay, now the centroid of asymptote, sigma A can be calculated as real part of all the poles. This is real part of all the poles minus real part of all the zeros divided by n minus m. So it is coming out to be 0.5 centroid. Okay, so if you will see in last slide, my centroid is in between here somewhere. Minus 5.5 is my centroid. Asymptote angle is again minus positive 90 and minus 90 degree. Okay, this is how my root locus will look like. Next thing is I would like to do is, well, the angle of departure. So departure for, let me say, I will just redraw it once. So I am having here two poles, 2 zeros, then my 0 is at minus 1, here I am having two poles. Okay, and again at somewhere at minus 12 I am having my another pole. So if I am calculating angle of departure for, say, minus 0.1 plus j 6.6. okay, so and this is 0.1 plus j6, this is minus 0.1 minus j6, this is minus 0.1 minus j6.6. okay, and so now I will calculate the angles. So angle with respect to first this 0 will, suppose I am considering psi 1, this is psi 2, this is psi 3. okay, this angle and this angle and this angle with respect to zeros for this pole. Similarly for this pole, it is, I am considering for this pole we will consider two poles and one we will consider for this pole. So this is, I am supposing at 5, this is phi 2, this is phi 3 also, and this is phi 4. okay, so the angle of departure, I just need to compute first what is phi 1, phi p. okay, so all these angles are here, right? So I will just say angle by 0 minus angle by all the poles. There is no contribution of this pole with itself. okay, so psi 1 will be 90 degree. If you will say with respect to this pole, if you are checking, the angle is 90 degree, and again with this 0, again with this 0 it is 90 degree. So it is 90, 90, and then with this, if you are calculating this 0, the angle between this, so the distance is, if you will see, this distance is 6.6. okay, so my y-axis is 6.6 and my x-axis is 1 minus 0.1, so it is 0.9. Similarly for this, if I consider, it's approximately 90 degree, because what is there, one is 0 and one is 0.01, so approximately 90 degree, very minute difference. So for these two zeros, my angle is 90 degree. For this particular 0, if you will make a pole, if you are making the angle, it is again 90 degree. For this pole, if you are considering, so the height is again 6.6, so y is 6.6 and my x-axis is 12 minus 0.1 again, so it is 11.9, and then this is my minus 180 degree. So if I am calculating, this angle will be 142.6 degree. okay, now I know that from here I can actually going in this direction. If you will just draw in this direction, I am going. okay, similarly I can calculate, I will just erase it now. So similarly, if you are having, since for pole you have calculated angle is like this, similarly you can calculate angle of arrival for your 0. okay, that angle again you can calculate with respect to this and other components. okay, that will be if you will calculate, it will be minus 142. So it is just arriving from here to here, and the angle is again minus 142 approximately, right? Because there will be very small change because of 0.6 number. This is 6.6, this is 6, so very minute changes there. Now I know this guy is not going directly falling on. If you are just calculating here again, I'm having this pole, 2 poles, 0 pole. Okay, for other 0 and pole, it's like it's coming and like entering on this. Now this guy is coming on towards this side, this guy is also coming towards this side. So what will be the angle of distribution then? So for that we will calculate first the breakaway point. Okay, so breakaway point, I know I can calculate by using dk by ds. Okay, so again it is a little complex expression here, but it will give us some point. Let us say look at the final plot, look how it's look like. And what we would expect is, of course, there will be some breakaway point in between here, and these guys should meet at some point and then go away to the infinity at an angle of asymptotes, right? So we will see the final plot. It will be something like this. So these two guys are departing from here. It's departing, arriving. This is departing, arriving at this 0. Now these are departing. This is my angle of breakaway and break in. Okay, point break in and break out points, we can calculate them. Then they are meeting here. One will go on this side, another is coming on this side. Okay, then at this point again they are meeting and then they are breaking away. Okay, so 3 points will be there. 1 for breakout, 2 for break in. Okay, so the plot would say there is a breakaway point here, there is a breakaway point here, and then let us look at each of these routes. It is easy to find out this guy. This is coming out here and this is entering here. Okay, so this is some point at minus 5.5, the centroid. Yeah, okay, I'm just avoiding computing this one because it's little too ugly to write down these expressions, but we could compute. So this idea here is to just to that the complexity here is not to blindly say that this guy will just directly follow onto this guy. Okay, you just directly fall out of this guy. Okay, so we just have to calculate these different parts, where they will meet, where they will break out. Okay, that's all the point is here. Okay, now another example. So again I have all unity feedback system. Okay, so my number of poles is 4 and number of 0 is 0. So if I start drawing this diagram here again, so if you will see, I'm having 1 0 pole at 0, one is at minus 2, another 2 are at minus 1 minus j2 and minus 1 plus j2. Okay, so number of pole is 4, number of 0 is 0. So now we will calculate which part of root locus lie on real axis. Again, number of branches will be 4. Since there is no 0, so all 4 branches will terminate at infinity. And for real part, again, if I am standing here, there is 1. If I am standing here, there is 3. So this whole part will lie on my root locus. Okay, so the next thing over here is, then you have to compute the angle of asymptote. So angle of asymptote here, again there are 4 of them. So we will divide 180 divided by 4. We will just put the values. So angle of asymptote is 45 minus 135 minus 45 minus 135. So these are the angle of asymptote. So if you assume that there is one centroid, so my angle is 45, then 135, then minus 135, then minus 45, like this. These are my 4 angle of asymptotes. Okay, now I will calculate center of the asymptote, sigma A. Okay, again just check the real parts of poles. We will just compute them, divided by 4. N minus m is 4, so my centroid is minus 1. Okay, now at centroid we have seen the angles are 45 minus 45, 135 minus 35. Okay, now let's see what will be the angle of departure. If I again draw, this is my one pole, second pole, third pole, fourth pole. So this is minus 1 plus j2, this is minus 1 minus j2, this is 0, this is minus 2. My centroid is again at minus 1, somewhere in straight line with that. Angles are 45 minus 45 minus 35, 135. Okay, so now I will calculate angle of departure for this minus 1 and plus j. So what are the angle I am interested in? I am interested in this angle, I am interested in this angle and this angle. Okay, so this is my phi 4, this is my phi 2, this is my phi 1, phi 3. Okay, so I am interested in these angle. So phi angle of departure is just the negative with all the poles, and it's just 2 negative tan inverse 2 by minus 1 first guy. Then again for this guy, second guy, it is minus 90 degree for fourth. This is my third one. Okay, this is third, this is fourth. Now this is 2 by 1. Okay, so these angles plus 180 degree, so it is minus 90 degree. So this guy will vanish, but still, because you can also see the symmetry, so it just vanish. It will just come on this side. I will just redraw it once. Okay, so angle of departure for these two poles, again if you will see, it is minus 90 degrees, so it is moving like this. This is moving like this in this direction. It is again in this direction. This is in this direction. And one thing I know, I am moving here. Similarly, I can compute where it is going. Okay, so this happens to be this entire line between minus 1 plus j2 and minus 1 minus j2 is on root locus, and this line is also on root locus. Okay, so angle of departure we can calculate for this one also. So there is some interesting things happening here, right? So everybody is meeting here. Well, now let's me compute breakaway point again by setting dk by ds is equals to 0. So this means I have, of course, one breakaway point at minus 1, and I will also have a breakaway point at minus 1 plus 1 somewhere here in between. Here I am having breakaway point. So I am having 3 breakaway points again. Okay, so one is at minus 1 and another 2 over here, breakaway points. So this guy will come here, this guy will come here, they will break away, then they meet. These two will meet here, then one will go this side, one will go this side, then they will meet. This is coming on this direction, these two will meet at this point, and then they will depart Similarly, this will come here, this will come here, then they will move. So now we will see will intersect my imaginary axis or not. Okay, so again I'm just computing it. Okay, so intersection of imaginary axis, I will calculate the characteristic equation, and then I have the characteristic equation as s to the power 4 plus 4x s cube plus 9s square plus 10s plus k is equals to 0. And I do again the routes table, and what is giving me is that there is a again k number 16.25 its value will be. I will skip all the details. By now you should be expert in computing these guys. Okay, and also at omega naught is equals to 1.58. okay, so this guy is somewhere touch the asymptote. If you will see, I have my asymptote angles, so it is somewhere here. It's the angle is 1.58, the point on imaginary axis. So angle making 45, so it will touch somewhere on 1.58. okay, and similarly on another side it will be minus 1.58. okay, omega, at that omega value it will be cutting the imaginary axis. So now I know that it seems 2 of the root will cross the imaginary axis. So let us again try to analyze what is this. So this guy is going here, and well, it will break away over here and it will move in this direction, just waiting for somebody else to come and meet him. This guy is waiting for someone to meet, and he could move, say hello and go. okay, similarly for this guy, it is waiting here on breakaway point to meet and then go. okay, so these are the complex breakaway points. So these guys come here, this guy come here, they meet, and I say well they have to go away because it's a breakaway point. This is a breakaway point. okay, so these two guys come here, these two guys come here on this point, and they decide to go. Now again at angle of minus 45 plus 45, so on. So these things we have calculated from routes table. We have calculated omega naught. okay, so let's just plot the graph, see how it will look like. So plot turn out something like this. So these two poles are coming in this direction, they are meeting, then they are moving in this direction, then they are meeting with this, then one is moving on this direction, one is moving, because my angle is 45 minus 45 minus 135 positive 135. so this is how they are moving. okay, so that's all for today's lecture. Thank you.